Hello and welcome to RaceDay Nation. Hi, I'm Rob D'Amico. Thank you so much for joining us. I got to be honest with you. We got a lot going on the show. We got the NASCAR playoffs. We got a championship in F1. But I'm going to kick it off this week. First of all, thank you for tuning in. We do appreciate it each and every week. And don't forget about our sponsor here on the program, Rhino.co. Sell fast and list for free at Rhino Classifieds. It's Rhino.co. So check those guys out. We appreciate you tuning in. And I got to make mention this week, if you don't know, my day job it's not this television or radio show or podcast. I work for the Big Green Egg, and I do a lot with them. And we just had our big Eggtoberfest this past weekend, which is, it's chefs from all over the world. They come in, they show up in Atlanta, and we do a great show out there for the eggheads, they're called, the guys that cook each and every week on those eggs at their house. But we do a big celebration, a big festival, and we got to do it at Coolray Field, which is the home of the Gwinnett Stripers, and that is the AAA team for the Atlanta Braves. So congratulations to the Braves, first of all, for the NL championship there, the pennant, and we're looking to go after that World Series again. We'll see how that all plays out, but they're looking good. Let's not kid ourselves. I'm not a huge baseball fan. I don't follow baseball. I'm a racing dude. I'm a hockey guy, and that's what I am. That's about it. I'll watch some football too every now and then, but racing's kind of my heart and soul there. But the Big Green Egg, they had a great festival out there. Congratulations to the entire team. I also had my influencers out there. That's what I do with the Big Green Egg, is I do all the influencers content, things like that. But anything visual that you see, we take care of in-house. But I got to be honest with you, man, it was a great show. Here it is at the stadium. You got to see this footage here. It's just awesome. Just look at the smoke. You have all those apartments and condos in the background there. I guarantee you they did not get that smell of smoke or barbecue out of their houses for probably until next week. It is a fantastic time had by all. It was just a lot of fun, and I hope you got to watch some of it. If you didn't, you could follow along on my social, which is at Rob D'Amico, ROBDAMICO, where you can find all that great information and see some of the great pictures there, because we had a great time out there. I did a little bit behind the scenes because I got to be the MC for the show, which was really cool. So we got to go up in the television booth. They had me up on the Jumbotron every 20 minutes. And I was just going around the world, as you can imagine, and finding what these great eggheads were cooking out there. So it was a lot of fun. I got to give props to my here. I want to show this picture here. That's our influencers there, and what a great time they had. Sorry for it's not cropped there, but you could see all my influencers hanging out. We went to Andretti's, got to go racing, got to do some bowling. It was a lot of fun. We just had a blast this past weekend. So I'll be honest, I didn't get to watch a lot of the racing, but we did get it all in, and we're going to follow that. I also went to, which was kind of cool this week, is I went to the Festivals of Speed that we have here in Atlanta, and that was a great show as well. I'm going to play some of that because I also own the Dunwoody Driving Club. It's a car club here in Atlanta, and one of my guys was in the VIP area and actually won the Spirit of Ferrari Award with Festivals of Speed. So kind of a cool award for one of our guys, our members, Michael Fisher. Congratulations to you. But here, check out some of this video from the venue. It was at Avalon, which is here in Atlanta, and you can just see the different types of Ferraris, the 430s right there. You see a 488. That is either a California or Portofino. That's the 430. There's a 360. You have a 488 there. Let's see here. That looks like a 458. Yeah, so just had a good time. A lot of great cars out there. This was obviously the Ferrari Corral there. So 328s, 308. Looks like a 488. Just some beautiful cars they had out there. Festival of Speed. I'm glad I got to go out there. So Saturday I was busy with Eggtoberfest. Sunday I went out to the Festivals of Speed and just had a great time out there. So it was a lot of fun. I'm glad you get to follow along. So what we have coming up on the show today is we're going to be doing some Cup racing. We'll run over the results there from the Roval in Charlotte. We'll also hit the Xfinity Series that happened out there, and then we'll hit the F1 and what happened there in Japan, the Japan GP, because we have a new champion out with 4 races to go already. So we'll talk about that coming up. A lot to go on the show, so stick around. I'm Rob D'Amico. This is RaceDay Nation. Welcome back. This is RaceDay Nation. I'm Rob D'Amico. Don't forget, you can follow along on our website, RaceDayNation.com, where you can get the newsletter. Sign up for that. We appreciate it. You can follow us on social at Rob D'Amico. It's ROBDAMICO, or at RaceDay Nation on Instagram, Facebook, all that great stuff there. So please follow along. And if you want to shoot us an email, you can interact with the show. We'll answer some questions. You can do that. Again, next year we'll be doing the show live, so you can have people calling in and interacting with the show. So that's what we want to do moving forward. But right now, for the rest of this season, we got 4 races left. We got the 3 races coming up in the final round, and then obviously heading out to Phoenix for the championship in the Cup Series. But please visit us on our website, RaceDayNation.com, and you can see all that. Don't forget, the show is presented by Rhino Classified. Sell fast and list for free at rhino.co. All right, let's see here. We're going to go to the Cup race and find the results here. It was Christopher Bell, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, AJ Allmendinger, who won the Xfinity race. Congratulations to him. Easy for me to say. Justin Haley was 5th, Chris Buescher, Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick, Chase Briscoe, and Austin Dillon. There's a little controversy there with Chase Briscoe we'll get into here in a little bit. But it was Christopher Bell's day. Listen, there was a late caution with 6 laps to go. Chase Elliott was leading and then got punted on the restart. Christopher Bell was able to get around Kevin Harvick after that and was able to get the victory. So congratulations to him. Job well done. And just, cool to see. This guy really needed to win to get into the playoffs, the next round, the round of 8. So he did what he had to do. He made it work, made it happen, and here he is moving on into that top 8, which we'll get into the points here in a little bit later on in the show. I want to talk about the results here right now. I got some audio to go in the media center with these guys. So let me play that real quick with Christopher Bell talking about his win here at the Charlotte Oval.
Yeah, just, really mind-blowing. I just... the whole race went green flag, and I thought we were just kind of buying our time, waiting or getting to the end of the race, and I was running 7th or 8th, and a couple guys were closing on me, so I'm like, man, I just hope I can get out of here with the top 10 and focus on trying to, race for 5th in the points. And then, the tides changed.
It sure did. There's no doubt about that, and for the better in his part, because it's like he mentioned, everything opened up. There he was. Kevin Harvick was in front of him and was able to get the job done. So congratulations again. I got some more here. I'm going to pull up as I'm speaking with the task that he had, and the task of putting on those new tires. The call that Adam Stevens made, his crew chief, about getting out there, making those changes, putting the new tires on, and working his way to the front.
Yeah, definitely the task was simple. We knew that we had to win, but just try to put myself in good spots. And road course racing is so difficult because you can get stalled out and get put in a bad spot and lose multiple positions. So I was trying to use what I learned throughout the beginning parts of the race where people put me in bad spots and I lost multiple positions. And not let that happen to me. And, having a tire advantage that big it's a big deal.
It is a big deal, and it worked out in your favor, and congratulations goes out to the entire team. Now, I do want to play, I mentioned Adam Stevens, his crew chief, and what they were able to do is put those tires on there and have that extra grip at the end of a race, which is really when you want it. And I wasn't sure who was going to come in at the end of the race, who wasn't going to come in. Austin Cindric was one of those guys that said, okay, in that first caution, they tried to gamble, take the track position, try to hold on, and it looked good there for a little bit. We'll talk about the points and who was eliminated and what happened there at the end of the race. But Adam Stevens talks about those ups and downs in this last round because it was really bad and it wasn't looking good. They know they needed to come into this race and win, and they did exactly that. Here he is talking about the ups and downs.
The low was Texas not going our way. You know, we felt like we could go to Texas and be a factor for the win, and we didn't have a great practice day, but really righted the ship with our race setup, and we felt like we had good speed and balance to get up there and race for it, and just started blowing tires. And when that ended our day and we got out of there with 2 or 3 points, we knew we were in bad shape. You know, speedways haven't been too kind to us, and Talladega wasn't too kind to us. And we felt like being behind going into Talladega, that we had to go down there and race for points and try to close that gap, and it just didn't work out for us. Predictably, we really struggled to finish as well. Even though we were started on the pole and had the number 1 stall, we couldn't turn that into any points either. So this round was going to be the hard round for us, and we knew it, and we probably made it a little bit harder than it could have been. If we'd have had a Texas like we expected and we're certainly capable of, we just would have had to come here and had a solid day, and we did have that solid day going. So you know, we dropped the ball as a team at Texas, but we're able to pick it back up and hit a 3-pointer at the buzzer today.
No doubt about that. Again, congratulations to the entire team. Team effort here. There's no doubt about that. Real quick, before we go to break, I want to make mention about the owner. Obviously, it's Joe Gibbs Racing. And he had said something, listen, Toyota has not been great on these road courses, and we all know that. And that was why this was such a big surprise. We're going to hear from him coming up on the other side of the break. I'm Rob D'Amico. This is RaceDay Nation. This is RaceDay Nation. Rob D'Amico here. Thank you for tuning in each and every week right here on Racing America. You can find us on our website, RaceDayNation.com. Follow along on our social, Twitter, Facebook, you name it, at RaceDay Nation, or follow along with me at Rob D'Amico, ROBDAMICO. My voice is going in and out a little bit. Had a very, very busy weekend with Oktoberfest. It was the 25th annual, and we had a great time out there. And if you're interested, you can find eggs online at a discounted rate here in Atlanta. If you're in the Atlanta area, please look us up, biggreenegg.com, for more information there. So some great stuff coming out of that event. Had the Festivals of Speed. One of my Dunwoody Driving Club members won an award out there at the Festivals of Speed. So congratulations to Michael Fisher with his F430 Ferrari there. It was pretty cool. All right, let's see. We were talking about Joe Gibbs Racing before the break here, and his driver, Christopher Bell, getting the job done with Adam Stevens making the call, coming in, getting some tires. But Joe Gibbs and Toyota know, listen, this is not one of our road courses, are not one of our strong suits this year. I don't know what it is, what they weren't hitting on, what other teams are hitting on that they can't figure out with this car. But the chance, the circumstances, everything that happened, it looked like Chase was going to win this race. Then he gets punted on a late restart. He was leading when that yellow came out, so he's probably very disappointed he didn't get that win. Luckily, he has a win in his pocket, so he already moves on to the round of 8. We'll get into that coming up a little bit later on the show. But real quick, I want to go to the media center, and Joe Gibbs is talking about Toyota and road course racing, how this one was a surprise for these guys.
The amazing thing was about the day, if you had picked a cutoff race, for us, that would have been the worst cutoff race. It would have been a road race. All of you guys know that. We've been off with that, worked extremely hard after every single one of them. But you would probably say for us, the Toyota camp, that would be the toughest thing for us to overcome. And I just think if there was a race that I've been a part of that was a total team effort, this certainly was it. The call that Adam made was just a great call. Took guts. Our pit crew are the young guys on that car, and they were after it. You wouldn't think that this would play out the way it played out, but I sure appreciate everybody and the teamwork and everything. I think it really showed that this sport is total teamwork. It takes everybody working together.
And that's what I said before. This was a total team effort. There's no doubt about that. From the guys back at the shop working on this car to the guy on top of the box, Adam Stevens, making the calls, and Joe Gibbs Racing just in general, really trying to get it done. Young pit crew, able to, shine, get them on and off pit lane. Everything worked out. Listen, there are so many circumstances that take place during any race, on any given Sunday, Saturday, whatever it may be, that these guys have the opportunity to go out there and try to win these races. It is difficult, and they got it done. All right, I'm going to talk about the Xfinity Series before we go to break here because I got a few minutes left in this segment, but I wanted to bring up the results here for the Xfinity Series with A.J. Allmendinger getting his 4th win in a row here at the Oval. Congratulations to him. Another Joe Gibbs Racing car, 2nd place there with Ty Gibbs, Noah Gragson. Here's what I love. Well, just look at these top 3 right now, AJ, Ty, and Noah. These 3 are actually in the championship and battling it out hard. So this is creating a great battle over here. Now, points are a little bit different. On the Cup side, the points are very, very tight. Here on the Xfinity, they have a little wiggle room, but it's not much. But I will say I love having those 3 drivers really going at it. I think that's you're going to see the final 4 that I think those 3 names are definitely in it. And we'll see who I think is going to be that 4th driver when it's down to Phoenix. So let's run down the rest of this. So I said AJ won. Congratulations. Ty Gibbs, Noah Gragson, James Davison, road racer there. Congratulations to him. Justin Allgaier, Alex LeBay, again, another guy that up and coming, but really a good road racer. Brandon Jones, Josh Berry, Ryan Sieg, who unfortunately did not make the cut to the final round of 8. He was in, he was out, he was in. Oh, it was amazing to watch. Landon Castle was rounding out your top 10 there. So we're going to take a break here. When we come back there, we're going to go inside the press box and talk to A.J. Allmendinger about his win, 4 in a row, what he thinks with the Cup season coming up. And there's a great question between him and Bob Pockers from Fox Sports that we're going to get into as well. It's all next right here on RaceDay Nation. Welcome back to RaceDay Nation. I'm Rob D'Amico here. We do appreciate you watching, whether it's on Racing America or our website, racedaynation.com, or on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell for notifications. You know what to do. You can follow us along on social, again, at Rob D'Amico. It's ROBDAMICO. And don't forget, the show is presented by Rhino.co Classified. So it's sell fast and list for free at Rhino.co. Let's see. When we left off, we were talking about A.J. Allmendinger winning the race 4 in a row at, first of all, 2 in a row in this season, winning back-to-back, and then 4 in a row at this track, undefeated at this track. So pretty cool accomplishment for him at this racetrack. So congratulations to him, the entire team. But here he is in the press box talking about getting 4 in a row here at this racetrack.
It's pretty amazing to be able to win 4 in a row. This was a race that, I didn't believe at times with 10 to go or 5 to go that we're going to be able to get it done. But that's what I love about this race team. They kept pumping me up. I felt like I was letting them down, and I just knew if we had enough restarts, if I could just time one right, maybe we had a really good shot at it. So felt like we stole it, but I'm not going to give it back.
No, why would you? Right? It's all right to steal a race every now and then. It happens. It happens to you. It happens to the best of them. Sometimes you win them, sometimes you lose them. Like Chase Elliott, he was winning that race in the Cup Series and had to give it away when he got punted there. So very disappointed at his end. I want to make mention coming up on the show, we have news and rumors coming up in our next segment. We're going to talk about Andy Petrie receiving the Smokey Yunick Award. We're also going to talk about NASCAR meeting with the drivers. Joey Logano is going to talk about that meeting that happened to get us a little insight in that. We also going to look at talk about the final lap of the NASCAR Cup race because of Chase Briscoe, his teammate Cole Custer. Was there some blocking going on to keep those guys behind him? Also about Kyle Larson, in, out, what's the deal? Is there something going to happen there? I don't think so, but let's see how this all plays out. And then I got some audio of Joe Gibbs Joe Gibbs talking about losing Kyle Busch next season and going to RCR and what that means for everybody at the team. Also, we're going to be talking about the F1 series because they had their race in Japan, the Japanese GP. And unfortunately, Max Verstappen was crowned. And I say unfortunately because, listen, I like these things to go to the last race, the last lap. That's what this is all about. You want to carry those points on. Yes, this is cool. You know, he's getting his second championship. But in reality, as a race fan, you want to see these guys go to the very end and battle it out for that last lap, you know, that kind of thing. And we didn't get that here in the F1 series, unfortunately. We saw it in IndyCar. We saw it in IMSA. We're going to see it here in NASCAR. But Formula One still, maybe there's a tweak to those points. And some of the, you know, the purists are like, no, don't touch it, don't do anything. But listen, let's add some excitement for these last four races because right now it's just up to the manufacturers at this point to see who wins the manufacturing championship. All right, let's go back to the press box and hear from AJ Allmendinger about the championship run that he's got going on right now.
Is there any extra sense of urgency in these playoffs, knowing this might be your last chance to, where you're kind of a championship?
Hang on, I want to preface this real quick before we start this audio. So this is the audio of Bob Pockrass talking about him going for this championship right now. Bob Pockrass is with Fox Sports, and he talks about, hey, you're going after this Xfinity championship. Is it more important right now to go after this championship? You know, you got a cup season coming up. You're going to be with a team that's, let's be honest, small team going up into the big boy league is going to be tough to make some waves, get a win, all that great stuff. So is there really an emphasis on getting this championship and having a NASCAR championship in the Xfinity series? Because moving up the cup, it's going to be a lot difficult. Listen to what AJ had to say, and listen, I'm going to pick up here with Bob Pockrass in the press box, or I should say in the press room here. Check this out.
Is there any extra sense of urgency in these playoffs, knowing this might be your last chance to, where you're kind of a championship favorite and win in NASCAR and win a championship in NASCAR?
So you've already written me off next year, Bob?
Well, I was gonna.
I saw you trying to do that delicate.
Yeah,
That
I was
nice.
trying to do it
appreciate
delicate,
that.
but
I feel good. You're not just completely crushing my feelings.
I'm not. I would say that colleague is still a little bit away from being a championship contending.
I like it. Put it on the team. Yeah, no, I like that. No, Bob. No, honestly, no. Like, I don't. All this is a bonus to me. I mean, honestly. 4 years ago, I sat up here at this race and talked about that I probably was looking at something else in life. JTG and I were splitting apart, and I thought NBC was the next side I was going to, and then that was the next step in my career. So, at that point in my life, I had 3 NASCAR wins total. So, I mean, we're up to, I don't even know where we're at now. That's a good thing that we have to count that many. So,
I agree. It's a good thing that you lose count of your wins. There's no doubt. There's going to be a part 2 of that because he does pick up. He answers the question, but he also said something I think that's really important. I want you to hear it. It's all coming up next right here on RaceDay Nation. Welcome back. This is RaceDay Nation presented by the Big Green Egg, the ultimate cooking experience. Log on to biggreenegg.com. Whether you want to grill, roast, smoke, or bake, they have 7 convenient sizes that you can check out on their website. And listen, if you shop online, you can have it home delivered to your home for free. All you have to do is log on to biggreenegg.com. All right, let's pick up where we left off with AJ Allmendinger in the press box answering Bob Pockrass's question from Fox Sports about the emphasis on this championship because you're moving to Cup next year. How much more important is it to get this championship in the world of NASCAR? Because you remember, AJ is an open wheel kind of guy and moved over here, came from Champ Car and kart and all that stuff, and then made the switch to the heavy stock cars. And he's done a great job. Listen, I give him props, man. I really do. And I think he's going to do well. Do I think he's going to have the success at the Cup level he has right now at the Xfinity? No, because colleague racing, to Bob's point, is not at the caliber of some of these other big teams that have been there for many, many years and have a lot more money than they do.
No urgency. The way these playoffs and the way the championship works, you know, obviously you got to get to Phoenix, and it comes down to 4 drivers at that race, and if you nail it that day, you could be the champion. But, you know, with that said, I would never trade. If you told me it was you win 1 championship and you don't win all these races and share all these victory lanes and all that, but you get 1 championship at the end of it, I wouldn't trade that.
Seriously, why would you, right? It's more fun to get those victories because they come few and far between, and they're great to have because you celebrate them with the crew, you do all this stuff. Championship, again, great, but those are, you know, some people never see a champ. Mark Martin, one of those guys, never saw a championship. Would he give up all those wins for 1 championship? I doubt it. I really do. All right, so let's take a look at the points in the Xfinity Series right now. You have Noah Gragson he's plus 34 points. AJ is second, plus 22. Ty Gibbs is third, plus 16. Justin Allgaier is plus 11. Now, here are the guys that are in the bottom 4 right now in the round of 8. Josh Berry, Austin Hill, Brandon Jones, and Sam Mayer. The guys that got eliminated going into this round or into this next round of 8 is Ryan Sieg, Daniel Hemrick, Riley Herbst, and Jeremy Clemens, all eliminated from the playoffs. So unfortunately for those guys. But you're looking at what I think is going to be the top 4 heading into Phoenix. A Noah Gragson, AJ Allmendinger, Ty Gibbs, and a Justin Allgaier. Those are the 4 I think you're looking at them right now that could move on and be your final 4 once they get to Phoenix. Let me take a look at the cup points here because I want to make sure we got enough time here, and I'm trying to pull up some audio here so I have it for you guys when we talk about Christopher Bell. And looks like I don't have it here. That's all right. I want to get to the cup points, though, because I do have some stuff here. Chase Elliott with the win moves on. Congratulations. Joey Logano is plus 31. Ross Chastain and Christopher Bell with that win is now in your top 4. And moving on to the round of 8, he's plus 6. Then you have the bottom 4 is Ryan Blaney, William Byron back in there again because of the points given back to him after that situation on the racetrack between him and the next guy, Denny Hamlin. By the way, look at this. Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, all tied, you know, right there. 3 points, 3 points, 3 points. Ryan Blaney is actually he's minus 3. And there's minus 3 for William, minus 3 for Denny, and then Chase Briscoe getting in with that minus 5 there. So a lot going on in the championship. Some of the guys that were eliminated after this round at the Roval, Kyle Larson, Daniel Suarez, Austin Cindric, and Tyler Reddick, all eliminated from the playoffs after that round. So unfortunately for those guys, they don't move on. And Daniel Suarez put out a post that I thought was pretty heartfelt. He said, listen, I put in everything I had in that race. I laid it all out. I was mentally, physically drained after that race, and he's still got 4 more races to go. So it's going to be a rough one for him going into next year. He's probably looking for that offseason. All right, let's take a break here. When we come back, we'll do news and rumors. Then we have points coming up, and then we'll do some other things with more audio from the press box. All coming up next right here on RaceDay Nation. Welcome back. It's RaceDay Nation. All right, we were talking about some news and rumors coming up here. And I think one of the big ones was the safety of this race car. And we'll get into that here in a second because there was a big meeting between the drivers and NASCAR, things going on behind the scenes, little one-on-one conversations with the drivers, trying to figure out where their head's at in this thing with the big crash with Kurt Busch. You also had the crash with Alex Bowman, taking these guys out, going through concussion protocol. And some of the guys like Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., those guys saying, hey, listen, these are some of the hardest hits we've taken with this car when the back end of the car goes into the outside wall. So some things there that are going on behind the scenes. We'll get into that because we heard from Joey Logano. I'll go back to last week where Chase Elliott was saying stuff about this car. So first, before we get to there, thank you for tuning in to Racing America here on television. You can also find our show on YouTube and our website, RaceDayNation.com. And also anywhere you find the podcast, you can get the audio version of the show as well. You can follow along with me at Rob D'Amico. It's ROBDAMICO on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that great stuff. But first, I want to take you to the press box where owner Joe Gibbs talks about losing Kyle Busch next season to RCR and what that means for their team and things like that, and kind of the conversation behind the scenes. Here, listen to this.
Yeah, I've talked to Kyle and just told him we're really pulling for him and Sam and the family, and I want the rest of his racing career. This guy's going to win a bunch. We know that. He's a great competitor. And when you think about it with us, 15 years, that was awesome. And, just really appreciate that so much. And we know Mars is leaving, but that was a thrill to be with them for that amount of time. And so I just think, we worked hard at trying to get everything done there. We couldn't. And so I think he's found a home, and I'll be willing to bet he's gonna be after it next year, and he's gonna win a bunch of races.
I don't disagree with that. I think that he's spot on, and I do think that Kyle's going to pick up right where he left off, winning some races with a new team, showing the new team what they're capable of. And I think Austin Dillon is going to be a guy that, he reaps from the benefits of all this with Kyle coming over there as his teammate. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. But there it is, Joe Gibbs talking about, losing Kyle next year. So moving on to car safety, there's a couple things. So one, last week we heard from Chase Elliott and his thoughts on the whole thing. I'm going to replay that here because then it leads into what Joey Logano was saying when the drivers and NASCAR met here at Charlotte for a little one-on-one conversation, little FaceTime, if you will, to get to read the room and talk about safety in NASCAR.
All this time and experience of so many just super talented people in this sport, and we allow it to go backwards, especially with safety. I just think it's just super surprising to me, that we allow that to happen. But we did. And, now it's just about how do we go forward from here, making sure we're making the right choices to improve what we have and keep things like, what happened to Alex this week from happening. And what happened to Kurt. Those things just those types of incidents didn't result in injuries in the past handful of years from just me watching. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, but watched a lot of cars back into the wall, and those guys be fine. So I just hate to see that.
Yeah, listen, we know you're not a doctor. We get all that, but but seriously, it is a very dangerous situation. We're seeing it now more and more with the NFL, with racing, the way these cars are backing into the wall, the head injuries. They need to get a handle on this. So NASCAR said, all right, we're going to meet in Charlotte. We're going to talk to you guys. Let's see what your thoughts are, the team's thoughts are, what NASCAR's thoughts are, what we're going to do, what's going to happen. Here's Joey Logano talking about that meeting that happened here at the Charlotte Roval.
Yeah, definitely the task was simple. We knew that we had to.
That's not him. Let me get him here real quick. Joey, where are you, Joey? So Joey was in the there he is right there. Joey was in the press box talking about the situation and where they're at, because listen, these drivers are very concerned for their safety, as they should be moving forward, and they're trying to get everything possible done so they can move forward with this new car and feel comfortable. Because there's been talks about this car when it first came out, even before it hit the track. They were talking about how safety could be an issue here. They thought there was a couple things, not so much where we saw with the tires and things like that, with them blowing or starting them on low pressure, losing tires, sitting on the ground. Catching fire was a big one, and I think backing into the wall is another big one. And here is Joey Logano in the press room talking about that meeting that they had here at the Roval.
The meeting was very open and honest, which I feel like was necessary for all the drivers to get some things off their chest and their real concerns of what we've been going through and the experiences from inside the car. The frustrating part is it took way too long to have that meeting. That meeting should have happened Monday after Kurt's crash, not waiting till Alex had his crash to have a meeting, and at least hear us out. I'm not saying they weren't working on it after Kurt's crash, but the communication in person is so important. You guys
Agreed.
know, you're sitting here, we used to do Zoom media, and can you tell me when you did all those Zoom calls that it was as good as being in person? No, you can't say those interviews are worth a crap compared to being in person. And it's the same thing when you're talking about your life in a race car. It's a little bit more important than that, and we should be in person having those meetings a lot, not when we need to, but before we need to. And I think those messages were heard loud and clear. There is a plan to try to help the rear impacts, as you guys know, but we need to stay focused on the rest of the car as well.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I can't agree with them more. And hopefully NASCAR listens. Hopefully there's some changes in the near future with this car, and we can move on and move forward with this new car, and everybody, all the drivers and owners, for that matter, feel very comfortable. Because I do have some audio of Rick Hendrick talking about it doesn't matter what it costs. Let's get the job done and keep these drivers safe. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about F1 race, NASCAR points, and then we're going to close out the show. So stick around. This is RaceDay Nation. This is RaceDay Nation. I'm Rob D'Amico. Welcome back to the show. Appreciate you watching. Don't forget, we are presented by Rhino Classified. Sell fast and list for free at rhino.co. Follow us on our website, racedaynation.com. We're tight on time, so I'm going to move on fairly quickly here. But quickly, I want to give some props to Andy Petrie, who ended up getting the Smokey Unic Award. Congratulations to him here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Here he is receiving that award.
Thank you, Marcus. I can't tell you how much this means to me. I mean, just to be mentioned with those guys, they're all my heroes. And, you talk about humble beginnings. I just sitting here thinking about it, just how blessed I was that my dad did not really have a lot of money when we were growing up. If he had, he'd probably gave it to me, and I'd have took it, right? I wouldn't have gone out and been as focused on trying to make a career out of this. And it's been so rewarding, and I can't thank you, though, enough for this, because just having Smokey Unic and my name on the same plaque, it's very special. And a 1-inch wrench. I've used a 1-inch wrench many times. So thank you very much. Absolutely.
Not only on the race car, but probably on some competitors as well. There's no doubt. All right, let's look at the Cup points real quick. Again, congratulations going to Christopher Bell for getting the win there, moving himself into the playoffs. You had Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell. Now in the top four, the bottom four is Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, and Chase Briscoe. If we move over to the Xfinity Series, it was A.J. Allmendinger getting the win. Again, congratulations to him. We'll take a look at the points there as well. Noah Gragson, A.J. Allmendinger second, Ty Gibbs, and Justin Allgaier are in your top four. Your bottom four is Josh Berry, Austin Hill, Brandon Jones, and Sam Mayer. The guys that were eliminated, Ryan Sieg, Daniel Hemrick, Riley Herbst, and Jeremy Clemens were all eliminated. So let's take a look at the F1 series. It was Max Verstappen. I will say this, rain did have a big part in this race. There's no doubt about that. A lot of rain on this racetrack. It was postponed for a little bit, but they were able to get back to action there, and they finally got to some racing, which was great because, you don't want to ever see a race not race because due to weather, because these guys can race in the rain unless there's huge storms and thunder and lightning and all that. But they got the race going, ended up here. Let me just explain. He'll put up the F1 results here. Max Verstappen is your winner. Congratulations. He also grabs the championship there because Charles Leclerc was second, but had a penalty, a 5-second penalty, which moved him back to third. And if he didn't finish second, that would give the world championship to Max Verstappen. So Sergio Perez, who was third, moves up to second. that's how all that played out. Esteban Ocon was 4th, Lewis Hamilton was 5th, Sebastian Vettel 6th, Fernando Alonso 7th, George Russell was 8th, Nicholas Latifi was 9th, and rounding out the top 10 with his McLaren was Lando Norris. So congratulations to him. So let's take a look at those points right now in the F1 world, and you have Max Verstappen with 366. Congratulations, his second championship there. Sergio Perez was second, his teammate there, and just got to give it to these guys. But it was Charles Leclerc was 3rd in points right now, George Russell 4th, Carlos Sainz 5th, Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris, Esteban Ocon, Fernando Alonso, and Valtteri Bottas. Those bottom guys haven't really moved much. And you can see from Max Verstappen's 366 down to Bottas's 46 points here, so very different. I do have a little exchange between Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc that I'm going to show you here in a minute. Let's take a break. It's Race Day Nation right here. Stick around. All right, it's Race Day Nation. I'm Rob D'Amico. Thanks for watching us here on Race Day Nation on Racing America. You can find us on our website, racedaynation.com. You can go to us on social at Rob D'Amico. It's ROBDAMICO. I want to put this up on the screen because it's funny to see. You're looking at Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen, and it looks like he's saying, "Hey, champ, will you help me find a job for Bonato?" And Max is looking at him like, "What you talking about, Willis? We ain't hiring that guy." There's no doubt. That guy made some big mistakes this year and took Ferrari right out of the championship. So unfortunately for those guys, but fortunate for Max that they are on top and able to get the job done. Again, congratulations goes out to Christopher Bell with the win there at the Roval. Congrats to him and his entire team. That win definitely knocked out Kyle Larson, knocking him out of the playoffs. Congratulations in the Xfinity Series to AJ Allmendinger for getting the win there, his second in a row on the season, and is 4th here at the Roval. And again, congratulations to the world champ for the second time, Max Verstappen, and for that matter, the Manufacturers Championship. And much love to the guys. I got to give props to my DDC guy who won out at the Festival of Speed, and everybody who came out to the Eggtoberfest. We appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed some of that video. Please go check it out on their Instagram and all that at Big Green Egg. All right, I'm Rob D'Amico. Don't forget, follow along on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, subscribe to it, hit the little bell, and it's all at RaceDayNation.com. I'll see you back here next week. I'm Rob D'Amico. This is Race Day Nation.